It's very difficult to go in at 25-year-old, I want to be a show jumper.
At 30, do you reckon I'm too late?
Yeah, far too late.
I want to see you ride first before I make a comment. My father used to buy a lot of ponies and unbroken ones. Well, I was the first jockey on board, and I think it was about 6.5. I got chucked off that often. I got absolutely fed up with it, so I retired. So I actually retired from horse sport when I was 6.5.
And that's the end of the story.
Welcome to Talk Horse.
I'll gallop through the highs and lows of the equestrian world.
I'm Pippa Funnell. I love anything to do with horses, everything to do with horses. I'm also a patron for World Horse Welfare and the British Horse Foundation, and I'm an author of a series of children's books, Pippa's Ponytails.
I'm Tristan Phipps. You may recognise me from Made in Chelsea. However, I am an ex-safari guide, nature lover, horse lover, and what else have I got in mind? Oh, I have a Pony Club badge, which I earned the hard way.
And you're also a very good cleaner, because I've been seeing you cleaning worktops.
I am actually a really good cleaner.
So Tristan Tops, expert cleaner of worktops in your kitchen.
Could be quite a good side hustle. Talk Horse podcast host, cleaner.
Anyway, today's guest is... Icon is a word that's used too often, so is legend. But this man really, really is an icon of the show jumping world. Do like and subscribe our podcast. We want so many more people to hear and listen to some of the madness, hopefully learn from some of the expert knowledge and the guests we have. So spread the word.
Absolutely. So saddle up, join our equestrian community and...
Let's talk horse. Hello, Tristan.
Hello, Pippa. How are we?
I'm all right. I know people won't actually hear this conversation for a few weeks yet, but yesterday actually was the final day of the European Championships held at Blenheim Palace. Argria very kindly sponsored it, a big insurance company. But most excitingly, one of our past guests, Laura Collett, with her beloved London 52, are now reigning individual gold medalists at the European Championships. And on top of that, Tom McEwen, he won individual bronze on Dublin. So it was a great result for those two riders. Mickey Jung from Germany on Chipmunk, who won the individual gold in Paris, he was individual silver. Wow. Germany won team gold. The British team were going into Blenheim as favourites on home ground in this country. And very sadly, we saw the highs and lows of eventing, because two of our team members, Piggy March being one of them, and Yaz Ingham being the other, very sadly had falls. They were both going so well. Lessons maybe will be learnt, and all the riders and horses are okay, and they'll come back fighting another day.
Absolutely. I'm glad Laura had some success on the weekend. What
this weekend was, yet again, another real example of true partnership. That of Laura in London 52, Mickey Jung and Chipmunk, and Tom with Dublin. Real partnership between horse and rider, and that really came to the fore at Blenheim. So yeah, congratulations. And as I said, I'm really sorry for the listeners that it might be old news, because when we're recording, literally Blenheim finished yesterday.
And there's a lot more to look forward to this year in terms of equestrian events. We actually have some very exciting news for the London International Horse Show this December. We are going to be...
Well, I think...
We're back. We're our one-year anniversary, actually, as well.
We are. We're celebrating our first anniversary, and hopefully in celebrating it, we will be bringing some live podcasts to the Talk Horse stage at the London International Horse Show on the back of the success of the ones we did at Royal Windsor Horse Show. So, yeah.
I'm really enjoying these live shows, actually. I'm excited for them. I think it's a really nice way to connect with the listeners as well.
Yeah.
I think it's really nice to actually...
It's a bit more nerve-wracking.
It's definitely more nerve-wracking. Definitely.
But yeah, I mean, London, there's so much. London International Horse Show, it really is the start of Christmas. It was Olympia many years ago, so all through, I don't think I've ever missed between Olympia and London International Horse Show, I've never missed a year, and it really is the start of Christmas.
It's a very exciting time. So it's running from the Thursday the 18th to Monday the 22nd of December. Tickets are now on sale, and we do have a special Talk Horse discount for tickets. So Talk Horse 25 gets you a lovely discount. There's more details in the podcast description. We'd love to see you down there. As we said, we're going to be doing possibly 2 or 3 live shows. So we'd love to connect with as many of you as possible at the Talk Horse stage.
There's also the brilliant horse auction that goes on if any of you want to buy a horse for Christmas. But on top of that, there's lots and lots of fantastic trade stands, so you can do a lot of your Christmas shopping there. There's masses of entertainment for the whole family. You've got jumping, 5-star, the very top of the sport. The best names in the world will be competing there, rallying who's going to win the London International Grand Prix, the World Cup. You've got Shetland Pony Grand National. You've got the dog agility, and many, many fantastic displays.
Absolutely.
Driving as well.
Driving?
Yeah,
Oh,
carriage driving,
carriage
dressage, you name it, it is at London International Horse Show.
Absolutely. And it always blows my mind how much can fit into one building.
It's a very big building.
It's a very big building, to
though.
be fair.
It
Yeah,
is.
Absolutely. And it is the weekend before Christmas, so everyone's going to be free and wanting to have some festive fun.
So, and you can buy my present there.
And we'll do an exchange of presents.
Okay, we do that.
Yeah, that's quite sweet.
We've got a good joke stand.
I'm actually really good at buying women presents, much better than blokes in my family.
Can you advise Willie?
Yes, I probably could.
Good.
I've been fully trained by mum to know, because I'm the only bloke in her life, because she's been single for so many years. So she was anything she wanted for Christmas.
Okay,
Fell on me.
William, if you're listening to the podcast, can you speak to Tristan about my Christmas present?
And potentially book another table for the curry house.
Talking about London International Horse Show, Waterstones, if you're a Waterstone loyalty card holder, you can enter a competition where there's the opportunity to win 4 tickets for the London International Horse Show. Because Waterstones very generously, or it's great that they're selling all of my children's ponytail books.
Amazing.
And actually, one of the ponytail books, one of Pippa's ponytails, Samson the Stallion, is all about...
Me?
No, it's not about you. You stallion, you. No, it's about a horse behind. It takes you behind the scenes at London International Horse Show, and talks. Samson is a show jumping stallion, and so one of my books is about the show.
Amazing.
So yeah.
How do we enter the competition?
If you go onto Waterstones, their website, you'll see more details about the competition.
Amazing. I'll be entering. So I think it's time to bring on today's guest.
It is.
Absolutely.
And I think we're incredibly lucky to have David Broome coming to join us on the Talk Horse today, because, you know, he's come a long way. He's come from Wales up to join us. And as a very, very little girl, I remember following him in the days, unfortunately, sadly, it's not the same, but in the days when show jumping was the highlight of the BBC. I mean, it followed the 9 o'clock news. And a lot of people my generation will absolutely know David Broome. And I really hope that young listeners will, if they haven't heard of him, or they should really listen, because he really is an icon. He achieved so much in his show jumping career, and it will be, I won't say fascinating because that's the word I always use.
It will be fascinating.
It will be really, really intriguing listening to his story and hearing the sort of difference of how times have moved on. But he was a true horseman.
Absolutely. He has quite the list of achievements to his name. David is a 6-time Olympian who burst onto the scene with individual bronze at Rome in 1960. Plus, he's a 3-time European champion and world championship medalist. That is a lot going on there. So another very, very esteemed Olympian.
And he won 3 individual European championship gold medals. I mean, I remember as a little girl, I used to get given these books, because obviously we didn't have anything like iPads or anything in those days, but I remember often being given a book at Christmas, and I remember each year there was often an annual that you were given, and I always remember David Broome and Philco and Sportsman, two of his horses. I think Mr Softee was a little bit before my day, but I remember Sportsman and Philco, so I can't wait to chat to David.
Absolutely. So,
let's talk horse with David Broome.
welcome, David.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you.
Can I call you Broomey or David?
Whichever you please.
Thank you for coming such a long way by train.
All the way from Wales.
Well, it was an experience in itself, but anyway, I enjoyed it.
And is this your first podcast?
Yes, I'm still a bit wondering what podcast means, really. But
Well,
Is
Pip is an expert now, and she can definitely. And I think as it's your first podcast, I think we should celebrate with a glass of sparkling wine, if I may interest you.
welcome
Little
to
glass
this world,
of. There you go. This is what we get to
Yes.
do in the studio. We get to drink lovely Hattingley Valley.
This is the podcast world.
Pip can explain what a podcast is in the meantime.
Well, this particular podcast is obviously talking all about horses, and
Talk
Horse is about educating this young man. I don't know whether you've heard of Made in Chelsea either.
I can't imagine that's
I
on
thought it was
David's
a
watch
lorry.
list.
But maybe it's not.
Made in Chelsea. This man is meant to be the hunk of Made in Chelsea.
Sorry.
Reality
meant,
TV.
Meant to be.
Sorry, he is the hunk of. He is the hunk of reality TV.
Absolutely
I thought it was similar to Love Island or Treasure Island, but anyway, Tristan is the unhorsey part of it all, and a podcast. Well, Tristan, you can say what do you think a podcast is?
Well, my mind's a bit sort of vague about it. I thought it was a sort of a privileged program you had to pay to get into or something, but maybe it's not.
Well, lucky for our listeners, it is completely free.
But it is a privileged program.
I got
Program,
that
but
bit
it is
right,
free. It is free. Yes. So when we talk about legends, icons of the sport, of the equestrian world, when I was growing up, when I was very little, I explained when we were introducing you a little earlier that I used to get a book every Christmas from my grandparents, which was full of pictures of people in the equestrian world, and I always used to see you with Philco and Sportsman. And when I was so tiny, two of your greatest, well, I know we'll hear all about your horses, but so right from when I was very little, David Broome was
The man.
the man.
Well, cheers, David, to your first podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Sorry, that's
Pleasure.
awkward.
All the very best.
Cheers.
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 Should have gone before, shouldn't I?
Oh, well, yeah. We've got a few more bottles of that if we're enjoying it. Delicious. So, David, we're going to learn a lot about you today. We want to hear about your amazing time in the equestrian world. But the first question we always ask all of our guests, and I'm sure this is quite an easy one to answer, is how did you first connect with horses?
Well, I'm told I was first put on a pony when I was 2.5. It was a little Shetland pony called Biddy, and my father and my grandfather before him had always been connected with horses. My father was a greengrocer in Cardiff, but I was always told on the way home from school he used to jump on ponies in the field and ride them round. He was a bit of a daredevil sort of thing. Well, I must have inherited a bit of that. And when they put me on this pony, he got some pram straps, is it, where they put round the baby, and there's a lead going to the front, lead to the back, and one either side.
Yeah.
So I couldn't fall off, which I often wondered I should have kept them on, really.
Show jumping career.
But that's how I started. And I rode then, up till about 6 or 7, quietly. I can't remember much about it. But then my father used to buy a lot of ponies and unbroken ones. Mm-hmm. Well, I was the first jockey on board. And I think it was about 6.5. I got chucked off that often. I got absolutely fed up with it, so I retired. So I actually retired from horse sport when I was 6.5. So,
And that's the end of the story.
that was my introduction to the horse world, really.
So at what point did you decide to get back on the horse?
Well, my father ignored it. When I say ignored it, he didn't take any notice. He let me do my own thing, which I think was a good move. My sister came along, and she was very keen. Sister Liz, bless her. And eventually had a pony called Beauty.
Not black.
No, little bay pony.
The Black Beauty.
And I fancied riding it, and sort of father sort of got me back on and got me going again, and it went on from there, really.
David mentions Liz, of course, known to all of us as Liz Edgar.
Right.
So you're from an incredible family between you and Liz, what you achieved. So I just wanted to point out when when David refers to Liz, it's
Liz Edgar.
the late Liz Edgar, who was an extraordinary horsewoman as well.
She left us at the beginning of COVID, and but she was 3 years younger than me, but she was part of the sort of, whatever I had, being a little sister, she wanted what I had. So all the time we were in ponies, she always wanted to nick my ponies. So I had to be on the ball a little bit to keep them.
Yeah.
She was a wonderful sister, and I always think back with pride that she was the first lady rider to win the Aachen Grand Prix.
Wow.
Which is something else.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So an amazing family legacy of equestrian.
So from those early days, I mean, you and your sister were just two of the top names in the sport. Who taught you to ride in those early days, or was it pre-taught, self-taught a bit? Or
I was very, very lucky. We both were, because father was dedicated to it. And he was a wise old boy. He showed harness horses a lot in his day, right? And my granddad used to look after the vet down in Pembrokeshire, and used to take him round the farms when there was a call out in his trap. So it was always in the blood. But my father, he was so wise and so quiet with it that every time I rode, and Sister Liz as well, of course, we had a lesson. And if ever we did anything wrong, we copped it. We became competitive, and when we went to shows, it wasn't a question of taking part. Mm-hmm. It was actually doing a bit better than that. You had to win, and we always had a little reckon up on the way home when I was 11, 12, whatever it was, how much the entrance fees had been that day, and had we won it. And there was good stories and bad stories with that. And it's very often when we went to shows, if there was a show class, like a 13-2 showing class for a beauty competition, so that's what it was in them, it still is. But it was a pony used to be platted up quickly, and then we went to get the third prize, 50 shillings it was, but it was all part of the proceeds of trying to make it pay. And at the end of the day, if we still hadn't done very well, whichever pony had gone the worst went in the musical chairs or the gymkhana classes. We were taught that all the little tricks you learn when you're a competitor in the ring, of what you do to try and win musical chairs. And there used to be some classes in Wales in those days. It was £10 to the winner of a musical chairs. Let me tell you, that was a highlight of the day.
It's a big
to get in that. And if you could get the worst part of all that was you did it and you got down to 4 people left and the music would stop and off you go, is the one that was out when there's only 4 of you got nothing. If you could just get past that one, you were into prize money.
Can I just, so for me being ignorant, musical chairs on a horse is much like musical chairs with a chair. Am I right?
Yeah. The way it used to work, I'll tell you a little example. At the end of the day, Mr. Jenks used to bring all the jumps into the middle of the ring or whatever, right? And we used to canter around them to the music. Mm-hmm. When the music stopped, you galloped down to the end of the field, round the pole, then back up and jumped on a chair.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And then the sort of trick.
Pony,
I assumed you'd get off the horse first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the sort of thing I was taught was, right, if you get down to two of you, there's no point of the two, if you, especially you on a smaller pony, no point of the two of you going round together, around the thing. Make sure you get as far away as possible from the other guy, right? Because if you're going to get an advantage, he can give you an advantage. If you're going together and the music stops, he's going to beat you down to the pole anyway, and it's just game's over. So this one day, I'll never forget, at Langston, there was two of us left. I was on a 12-2 pony, and the other competitor was on a 16-2 celebration, it was called. Right. So now then, I'm going to get a long way from him, aren't I? Going round. The next trick was to find out the guy who stopped the music.
Give him a pound on the side.
No. There's always somebody who does that.
Yeah.
You with me? So you've got to find him first. So as soon as you find him. So as soon as the hand goes up, you're gone, right down to the pole. Well, I shouldn't really say this really, but by the time we got down to the pole, he'd caught me up, right? So he went to ride me off the pole. And this bloody great big thing of his neck was over the top of me. So I caught hold of his rein, gave it a snatch, right, and popped its head round the wrong side of the pole, right. So I was round it, back up, sat on the chair before he got to me. Well, he was going to bloody well kill me, wasn't he?
Now, can I just say, his name wasn't Harvey Smith,
No,
was
it wasn't Harvey, no, bless him. No, it was all fun and fair in.
Yeah. It's all fair in musical chairs and war.
But my dad, he defended me like a good one. You know what I mean?
As he should.
My boy.
Good man.
Yeah.
Now, is that why? I mean, your extraordinary record of winning so many medals. You say
Start with musical chairs.
You start with musical chairs because you get nothing if you're fourth, which is the same in any championship.
Yeah.
You got your medals, gold, silver, bronze, fourth. You're out.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's it. Well, talking of bronze medals, let's talk about 1960 when you burst onto the scene with a bronze at the Rome Olympics.
That's right, yes.
So at that stage, so if you don't mind me asking, was that kind of, how much you've been riding competitively up until that point, or had you really taken a turn in the years before that?
I had a very good career. There's a long build-up up to that. I was very lucky because we managed to have three good ponies, 14 twos, and there was, in Wales, there was the society, whatever, of points for the end of the season. Who get the most points in the classes got an award. So we were always targeting that. And Wales was kind of tucked away a little bit. We looked after ourselves, and all the valleys had a show, and you got down to Carmarthen and maybe a couple in Cardigan and whatever. And if a foreigner came in, i.e. an Englishman came over the border, by God
forbid,
we ganged up against that.
Nothing's changed there. Nothing's changed.
The principality has nothing on what we do. So in those days, the competition was always a 3 rounds. There'd only be about 8 jumps in the ring, 3 up the one side round, 3 down there, and 2 up the middle. But we always had 2 jump-offs. So you'd start off here, 3'6", 3'9", 4 foot, and then second round would be a bit higher than the third round, higher again. So you actually learnt your trade. And I can remember a couple of times we went to shows, shorty of entries, only 4 in it. But I had 3 of them. Though the only break I had in the class was when the saddle was being changed. And I managed to jump, a couple of shows, I jumped 9 clear rounds.
Wow.
But it was tough going, but you learnt your trade. You with me? And father was there, changing the saddles, doing this, that, and you come on, get on, you get in there. And but that you learnt that. And I was very lucky because my 3 ponies all went differently. I had one little grey pony, 13-2. He used to gallop on and scotch up to jump. Another one was called Ballon Nutshell. He was a bit of a thickhead, really.
Oh dear.
You had to look after him. He had no flair whatsoever. And you had to hold him back and get the 3 strides forward. And the third one was a wonderful cob called Chocolate, little short-tailed fella. And he used to go on the even stride all the time. And
so you had to change your riding style
so the style was different on all 3.
Oh.
And I think that helped me in later life, really, because I could always get on something and ride it.
Yeah.
you know. But then get up to your question, when I was 17, Father bought a horse locally called Wildfire. Now, nothing in our yard had cost more than 60 quid
Is that quite?
to buy it.
That would be
Well,
not a lot.
not
Not a lot
even
of money.
in those
right?
days.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
it would be a little bit of money, but not much, £60.
Yeah.
And I loved him. He was a bit of a naughty boy to start with, but we had a bit of discipline with him or whatever. And at the end of that year, he was a leading horse in Britain,
Wow.
right? So that's what got me. They decided
Noticed.
then, maybe you'd like to be go to the Olympics. And Father, I'll never forget Father, when they asked him about me going to the Olympics, he said, yeah, I think it might be a good idea.
because in those days you didn't go abroad to show jump.
No.
Jumping was all in this country.
A little bit. Pat Smythe and Sir Harry, they
Llewellyn.
did. I mean, and they were local to me.
Right.
I mean, and Pat used to come down and jump in England, in Wales rather. I mean, and she was the icon of everybody, Pat Smythe. I mean, to watch her jump was just everything. You with me? And I think a lot of the things I had in my mind was the way she rode. Because she used to, in my time, she used to have a little cob called Flanagan, little short leg cob. And what she could jump on that was nobody's business. And I thought, well, if that'll suit him, what can you do on a better one? You with me?
Yeah.
And so anyways, so I copied Pat a lot. Come 1960, I was on the short list for the Olympics. There was about 6 or 8 of us, and Pat Smythe. And there was a horse from Norfolk called Sunsalve.
Yeah.
And the owners, Mr. Anderson, who owned the horse, his daughter, he fell out with. Right, family thing, right? So he took the horse from her, right?
Wow.
And he gave it to the Olympic team. I mean, it was a little farmer, who'd bred the horse, and he gave it to Pat, and she rode him. We had 3 trials in that year, and the first one was at Cardiff, believe it or not. I mean, Cardiff of all places. It's a non-horsey city if ever there was one, right? Anyway, Pat won the class, and on the way home, Father said, well, she won today, but he'll never go for her again. I've never forgotten it, because what a strange thing to say when she'd won the class. Well, a fortnight later, we went to Wiesbaden and Lucerne, and the horse never got round. He never did go for her again.
Because it was back.
No, Father had spotted the horse doing something that Pat hadn't put right.
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 And he was a cute devil. It was a wonderful horse. Cute. And he'd noticed that. And he never jumped for her again.
Right.
So we came back from that trip, and the horse is useless, blah, 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 all that. You just got sent back to Mr. Anderson. And at that time, we were selling horses to a lady called Anne Hammond at Newmarket. And over the years, I think she told us when she retired, we sold her 480.
Whoa.
I mean, that's a good customer, isn't it? Very important in our life, that lady was. And we took a load of ponies up there in June of that year, a bit late June. And Father happened to talk to Anne Hammond and said, "Did you know Mr. Anderson?" "Oh, yes, I know him," she said. Because she was in Newmarket and he was in Norfolk, so it's fairly close together. And Father said, "Well, perhaps we could go and see him." She said, "I'll give him a ring." So she rang me, "Yeah, come and see me." So we borrowed her car. Off we toddled, went to see Mr. Anderson, and Father and him got on like a house on fire. You know, Father asked all the right questions, and Mr. Anderson took to Father. And a couple of days later, Sunsalve arrived at home. And we had him, and we had a trial for all places. Lydney. Never had a show before us since. I don't think Lydney ever jumped on the football ground there, and all the selectors turned up to see him go. And
Is this for the Olympics now?
Yeah. And I think I had 4 faults or something, so that was all right. So the next week, we went to a little show called Pontypridd. Look at me, if I got bloody eliminated.
Oh.
Right? This is wonderful, isn't it? And I got eliminated on another one as well, Discutido. So I had 2 that got eliminated, right?
Oof.
Unbelievable. Not unbelievable. Well, So anyway, Father knew the course builder and owned the jump. He said, could we have a little practice at the end of the day, after the musical chairs? And we did, and I rode the 2 horses after and made them do what they were meant to do, and Father get guidance and everything. That was on the Saturday. On the Monday, we went to White City. He was second in the Horse Noun Cup. 2 days later, on the Wednesday, he won the King George.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the other one won the next show I went to was at Blackpool, Discutido, and he won the national championship. But there were 2 great horses. But they just found a way they could get away with things. And my father's knowledge put it right.
And the timing works out.
So from me being picked originally on Wildfire to go to the Olympics,
Yeah.
Sunsoft came in on top, who was absolutely phenomenal.
Wow.
So when you went to, you mentioned that prior to that point, a lot of the jumping you'd done had been quite locally based.
Yeah.
So when you went to Rome, was that the kind of first time you'd been part of a
No,
huge...
we went to Rotterdam the year before.
Okay.
And it must have been incredible travelling in those days because you didn't have the sort of motorways like you do now. And
No.
I mean, it's all...
Back roads for the horses.
I can give you another story, and I think we went Northampton, British Timkin show, Olympic trial. And we went there, and that's the first time I met Harvey. Incidentally, that was the year before. But that year we went, I think it was that year or the year before, we went to British Timkin, then we had to go to Manning, what's it called, near Manningtree, Ipswich way, the port. Holyhead, not Holyhead.
No,
Norwich?
no, not Norwich. Harwich.
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 God, I'm getting awful with names. And on the way there at night, we went round a corner. Father hadn't seen this sign, Low Bridge.
Ah,
Oh,
ooh.
no.
Oh, yeah. And we went under
no.
it, right?
Oh, gosh.
We took the top, he stopped.
Oh, no.
No.
The roof was concertinaed up to about that much on the back.
Oh, golly. With horses in the back?
With the horses in the back. And we
Lucky the
got
horses
forbid,
With a
were-
haircut.
right? Anyway, opened the little door and got in.
Were they like this?
The roof was down like this. One had broken his head collar, and the other one had a little cut on the top of his head. So we let the ramp down, got the horses out, reversed out, the roof fell into the lorry. Oh my God. And then we got a lift to Harwich. And in those days...
You had to ride the rest of the way to the...
Yeah, in those days, the horses were loaded onto the car ferries, but they were put in a little stall
Off the...
on the docks.
Oh, you took them off the lorries?
Oh, you couldn't
right.
take the lorry. Oh no, things hadn't happened by up to that point. You put the horses in the
Crates, I'd say.
in the crate.
Yeah.
His head was over the front, his tail was over the back, and they lifted him up with a thing, swung him over, and dropped him into the hold of the ship where the cars were.
Wow.
I mean, to see the horses' eyes when they got lifted up was something else. They nearly came out their heads.
It's quite a stressful journey.
Absolutely, but I always remember the journey because you weren't allowed to go down into the hold, to be fair, but you always found a way to see how they
a bit
were
like
going.
that now.
Yeah.
You're not meant to go down.
No,
but
you
find a way.
still find a way. And I always forget it because there was a Rolls Royce there. And I went down and see the horse. They were all right. So I went and sat in the Rolls Royce, didn't I?
Nice.
I thought, what a way to travel.
By ship next to horses in a Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
So that was a year before.
So that was the year before Rome.
Yeah.
So talk me through how it all came together in Rome and how that felt kind of,
So you flew to Rome. Did you fly them to Rome?
Sorry?
Did they fly to Rome? Or-
Yes, they
yeah.
did, except ours. Father wouldn't allow us to be flown. He said, you're going to the Olympics. Why do something you've never done before?
Good point.
So he drove the horses there, which was quite an adventure in those days.
Long way, yeah.
It's still the wrong way, Rome.
Yeah.
But in them days, I mean, he went so far every day, and he got about 4 o'clock, he found out where there was a farm
Yeah.
to go and stable and whatever, and he hopped all the way down to Rome. Incidentally, on the way back, one of the last hops he had, the stables he was given was a slaughterhouse in a town, which were beautiful stables, right?
Good job you
Everything
went
was
well.
fine, and he put them in the stables and everything.
Don't get the wrong
Got
stable.
his lorry sorted out, get into bed, and he suddenly thought, hang on a minute, these guys might start work at 5 o'clock.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Just got bronze at the Olympics, and that's your reward.
He got up, got the horse rugs, put a bale of hay outside the stable door, and slept the rest of the night
so
on the
sweet.
bale of hay.
That shows his dedication he had to the.
Yeah, case and then the accident, but that was on the way back. But after the White City, we went to Rome, to Dublin rather, one of my favourite shows, and I won the Grand Prix there.
Wow.
So we were in the team.
Yeah.
Didn't go from in the team number one really.
Yeah. Okay.
And,
So it was a good year for success in the world.
Sorry.
So it was a good year of success prior to Rome.
I mean the horse. I mean, nothing was more sensational than Sunsalve. He went like a deer, chestnut, white blaze, and father always bandaged him with white bandages and everything. And I think I was so lucky to have him when I was 20 years old, because when you're 20, you've got a bit of flair and a bit of dash, and you put up with things, and and he could gallop on, and I sort of went with him. Whereas I think if I had him 10 years later, I'd want to retrain him, but
he was a perfect horse at the time.
So no, and he was absolutely phenomenal, and I mean, if there was a horse made for the Olympic Games with the scope that he had, he was the boy.
He was the one.
He was the one, yeah.
Because you've had some amazing horses in your career, haven't you?
I've had some wonderful horses.
So Sunsalve, Mr Softee, Philco, Sportsman.
Yeah.
Sportsman.
Is it hard to? I mean, you always find it difficult to answer, but is there a horse for you that has been kind of the best, or not necessarily the best, but the most special?
I've thought about this question over the years, and I've come to the conclusion, what you could think of any one of them was the best.
Yeah.
I think the best 10.
Okay.
It's a better way of thinking about it, because one went superb one day, one went brilliant, another one went brilliant and brilliant,
Yeah.
And I probably had 8 or 10
Yeah.
superb horses, which spread over a career makes life very good. It does help a lot.
Yeah.
The quality of what you ride.
So I'll change my question then. What is the most special moment, individual moment for you in terms of potentially winning a competition or success at Olympics, and then what horse were you riding at the time? The one that really
You haven't made it any easier, have you?
As you say, you had so many successes.
Yeah. My favourite, not my favourite, probably was my favourite looking as a horse, loved him, was Sportsman. We had him as a 4-year-old. And we brought him on and went for all the trials and everything. And he was such an intelligent horse. I mean, you felt when you walked in the ring, he'd look round and he'd nearly know the way to go.
He's eyeing it up, going.
Yeah,
But he was such a good look. I remember him.
Yeah.
He was such a good looking horse. And you would actually slightly, we talked about Best Mate when we had Hen Night on. And Best Mate was another one that was so good looking and could do any job. But Sportsman could have done other jobs, couldn't he? Because he was good enough looking, wasn't he?
He was lovely. And so intelligent.
Yeah.
And so lovely to ride.
Because of his balance, conformation. Again, we've spoken about
his
conformation.
technique of jumping. And I mean, we used to have the Lancia finals in them days, which was at Park Farm just outside London. And I took him there 4 times and to win a car. It was in February, and it was the first show of the year. And the first class was a speed class, which is a 1-rounder. And the second class was a 3-round competition. And in 4 years I took him there, he jumped 17 clear rounds out of 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's quite unusual, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Very.
To even have a few clear rounds.
Very.
Right?
And the why did I jump 17 instead of 16? The 17th round, poor Derek Ricketts, bless him, I finished up head to head with him on points. And we had to go another time against the clock to decide the car. And that's how I got the 17th round in. But to do 17 out of 17, over 4 years.
That's very impressive. So how do you get the car home then? Because you've got horses in the lorry.
The car duly arrived.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
But changing the subject now slightly, I find it very, very frustrating nowadays, because obviously when I was growing up, it was mainstream television, wasn't it, show jumping? I mean, you and Harvey and your sister Liz, I mean, it was prime time TV straight after the 9 o'clock news, Horse of the Year show. I remember growing up and we would just be glued to that television. And it's so sad, isn't it, that we've moved away from that?
Oh, it was 9:25 to 9:15 to 10:45, 6 nights in a row, 3 times a year
On BBC.
Yeah.
on BBC One.
Yeah.
No, that is exposure.
That is prime time.
So, and when we're going back to Sunsalve,
Yeah.
The exposure I had with Sunsalve at the Olympics and the Horse of the Year show, I became Sports Personality of the Year.
Did you? Wow, amazing.
Yeah. I mean, that was purely down to the horse.
Well,
No, I don't.
No.
that's what you would say as well.
It is
And,
fantastic.
and on
50-50.
top of that, you've got several gongs, haven't you?
No.
I thought you had an OBE, CBE.
I had 2 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you get two?
Didn't say a couple.
Can you get two? How do you?
Yeah.
That's quite.
Because he was so amazing, you got an OBE first, did you?
That's right, yeah.
And then he was even
More amazing.
more amazing, so you got a CBE. Whereas,
What does CBE stand for?
Commander, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Commander of the British Empire.
see, I'm just a mere MBE.
Mere MBE.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not any of these. That's very, very impressive. So was that after? So you got the CBE after one of the Olympics, or?
Well, funnily enough, I got it in 1970 before I won the World Championship.
Before? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you get the letter and you keep your mouth shut, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then we went to La Ball and I won it. And everybody thought, oh, that's what he got it for,
Yeah.
winning that. But I'd had
got it beforehand.
Beforehand.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So go on, you go.
Sorry,
so many
got,
questions.
I know we've got so many. Because you obviously did 5 Olympic Games, didn't
6.
you? 6 Olympic
yeah.
Games. I'm sorry about that. But also, you could have done a lot more because some of those games were over, because going back whenever it was, you couldn't be professional, could
No,
you?
that's right. After 72, Prince Philip was in charge of the FEI, decided to clean the sport up. So he made some of us professional.
Okay.
And that was sponsored riders, wasn't it?
Yeah, sponsored
So if you
riders.
were sponsored-
You
Brits
couldn't
were
take
the
part in the Olympics.
The Brits were the only one that followed it.
Well, that's a bit unfair.
Yes, so I think, to be fair, I think I'd done my lot. You know,
6 Olympics is quite good.
Well, I'd done 3,
3.
4 up to then.
Yeah.
But so I was kind of didn't worry. But I missed 3 Olympics when I had some of my best horses.
And you were sponsored by, was that when you were sponsored by Harris
Yeah, I started,
Carpets?
met Lord Harris
Lord Harris.
in 1969 at Barcelona, and we've been sort of together ever since. Really, I had a wonderful relationship with him, and he's an unbelievable sponsor.
And they still are, because
Still are.
they sponsor Scott Brash.
Yes, even like Scott Brash won the biggest prize in the world showjumping the other day at Spruce Meadows. I think it was 1.650 million Canadian dollars.
That's a nice
And
amount of money.
nowadays, the saddest part of all is you couldn't read it in the newspaper anywhere.
Yeah.
Nothing got reported.
So let's touch on that then. Why do, only if you guys are comfortable, why do you feel that show jumping in the sport isn't getting the international the recognition on?
It's all equestrian sport. I mean, look, Laura, she might have got a brief mention this morning. We've obviously Laura Collett's just won the European Championships. I mean, it's so sad because even, when I did it, I still actually, when I was European champion, I was actually front page of the main. We had great journalists then, as in Alan Smith, who used to write for the Telegraph. I'm not saying that because they're very good journalists now, but they just don't give us the same sort of
Don't get in
space.
any recognition at all.
But it has changed, as in, like many of the equestrian sports, yes, horses don't change. The riding, has it got more professional? Yes, it probably has in some ways, but not linked with the era. But the courses have changed, haven't they?
That's a big subject for course building because I think the course builders, they owe it to us to relook at what they do, because in their favour, we've got these all-weather arenas which are dead flat, perfect going, and everything's easy.
Yeah.
There's no up and down, no hills, no ditches, or anything like that. And the breeding's got better. There were always some superstars, but there are a lot more superstars now than what there were in those days. But all they've relied on nowadays, in my book, is the time allowed. They make you go quicker, and that forces you to make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then when I watched the Calgary Grand Prix the other day,
And that is on grass.
that's on grass, but I think the course builder went too far.
Yes, I watched it too.
Made it too tough.
No, the second round,
It was unjumpable.
when the best horses in the world, this is jumping for the 1.6 million,
Yeah.
can't jump two clear rounds. I
there's a
think the
problem.
course builder should take a look at himself, because it's not on, in my book.
Yeah.
With all of the wins and all the achievements, has there been one which has stood out the most to you, the most special for you? It's a
I've had
tough
some
one.
wonderful wins, right? I had an award the other day, a couple of years ago actually, and that one I remember was a little show at Malmesbury, 50 quid to the winner. And I had a little horse in there that couldn't go too quick. He was a bit nutty. There's about 20 odd in the jump off for the 50 quid. And all these young lads and all young bucks were going as faster and faster and faster. And I looked at it and I thought, how the hell can I win this? You know what I mean? And there was one little maneuver I could do. And I did it and I won it. And I thought, yes! You know, it gave me so much kick to win 50.
Yeah.
It was
It was a
little
style
bit
to
of
win.
using your brain
Yeah.
a little bit, you know. But no, I mean, I've been some fast jump offs and whatever, and I think, you know, everybody says, oh, you're not so good as what they are these days. This, that, and the other.
I think it would be fascinating
yeah.
to plonk you into this era
Yeah.
and see how you would take on the sort of
Hey, listen,
Marcus
it's not too
Ernings,
late.
Ben
Let's-
Mayers, Scott Brashes.
We'd love
Yeah,
to-
it's not too late.
It's not too late. Let's do it.
No,
Bring
but
David
every time
back.
we were getting away, the breathing would get wrong, and
Do you spend much time in the saddle these days?
not one bit.
No?
No, I always thought, you know, I
Little
rode for a
hacker
living,
Yeah.
and when I retired, I said, that's it, you know. Anyway, it's dangerous, isn't it?
Even just to apparently
you
so.
say that. Have
Pip
another drink.
comes in with a sore shoulder or
I
sore knee
know,
every
it's
week.
like,
What is it this week?
But obviously you put so much still into the world of show jumping and the equestrian world with running Wales and Western, which is at Chepstow, and obviously your sons. I mean, James, he was carriage driving. Is that?
There's back to carriage driving
Brilliant.
now.
And
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know whether that's something you might take up as you're
I tried it
saying about
once.
your tummy, that maybe you could go start carriage driving.
But you know, I used to, when I retired, James had a spare pony, so I drove it a couple of times. And you go to the driving events, and they have these obstacles that they go in and out, but there's 8 of them. You know, I could never remember the bloody way. And I thought it would be the easiest thing to me.
To get directions, so you haven't got Google Maps.
Dear old Prince Philip, I used to watch him. He'd walk around every obstacle 5 times, and there's 8 of them.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
and
steps.
it's a different world. I gave it up. I couldn't handle that. I thought, I don't want another career of that. You know, but it's a wonderful sport, driving. You know, but no, James does that and helps to run the shows at
And
home.
Matthew. He helps.
And he's the outside boy. And no, we do a lot of. I mean, we're about 26, 28 weekends in the year show jumping
Yeah.
at home, so we're up to here in it really.
It's quite
And
exciting
it's
to be in the mix.
amazing how the family, because there was obviously you and Liz, Mary.
Yeah, Mary. Yeah, she used to look after the horses for an awful long time.
And did she do a bit of the flat work? Did she do?
No, she used to do a lot of the flat
Yeah.
work, bless her. Yeah. I mean, Phoenix Park, possibly you would never have heard of, but he could have been one of the best horses I ever had. But he was always a little bit of a problem here or a problem there. She schooled him an awful lot. But she was always very helpful in the background. Mary was Mary, mind you, but we survived.
Thrived.
And Fred, we haven't mentioned
Oh,
Fred.
for our brother Fred, oh my God.
I know
Do
Fred,
we have
because Fred's
time?
birthday is the same day as mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is?
well, I'm blown.
Yeah, it's fairly soon actually.
Fairly
because
soon.
you have
Yeah.
to.
Got my present sorted.
my birthday always fell over Horse of the Year show. So right from when I was a tiny, because Mum...
Was that always the birthday
Mum
present?
used
Day
to
out?
work it for not for Raymond, but for the BSJA.
Right.
British
and she
Showjumping
used-
Association,
yes.
for those who don't know.
Yeah, but it's now just British Showjumping, isn't it? It's BS
Yeah,
now.
it's just BS.
In those days,
You can't
it was
say that,
BSJA.
It's all BS.
And so it was always my treat to go to Horse of the Year show. And so I always used to watch it all during the week on that 9:25 on BBC, and I'd watch Broome with Sportsman and Philco. And then I remember one of the first times I really remember meeting you was, do you remember that Raymond Brooks Ward was my godfather, and very sadly the year Raymond died was over Gatcombe when I won the British Open Championships, and they brought in the Raymond Brooks Ward Trophy for the it's a panel that vote who's the best sort of young rider, and I won it the first year. And Broome, you probably don't remember this, but you came in and you
Presented the
Raymond
Really?
Brooks Ward Trophy to me with Auntie Dinny Brooks Ward. Yeah,
Bring that
the
back to
first ever trophy.
Really?
And I remember, and I rode in on Barnaby, my horse at the time, and then he was taken out, and then I left the ring with you in a carriage. I've even got a photo at home. I can't believe you don't remember that.
That's it, things are coming back
Why
quite- they
you
are
wouldn't
coming
remember,
back
but
quietly.
to
I never
me,
thought-
it was a
Momentous.
absolutely unbelievable moment. It was unbelievable winning the trophy, but to actually meet you in
very
person,
kind.
it was like,
Look at us now, eh? All these years later, together.
Yeah.
I'm so unqualified for that comment. No, it's amazing. I think it's, it just goes to show how, how close-knit the community is and how supportive everyone is. And there's a lot of people looking up to you. We have 2 last questions before we finish up, David. The next one is a new feature that isn't actually that new because we've done it for a while now.
I wouldn't have heard about it anyway, so you're safe enough.
So essentially, we're calling it our top tack tips. So it's for the people listening at home, and it's if there's like not that he rides anymore. But when you were riding, was there some sort of piece of kit or some sort of little trick to kind of maybe get the horses dialed in, or something that made tacking the horse a little bit
special
easier,
bit, or
something?
You only ever get out of your horse what you put into him. And unless you have him going correctly, which means every joint works, everything's moving, you're allowed to do what you want to do, and it's up to your brain to know what you want to do, you won't get very far. When you come down to a fence, every little movement must be available to you. So unless you've got that, dream on. And it's not fair to, horses won't turn left, for instance. It's not suddenly going to come right when you go in the ring. You go around the ring, he's doing this to you. Things are going to go wrong. And it's predictable. So you've got to get everything. You can't stop thinking at all. Always think, how is my horse going? Can he do this? Can he do that?
Be reactive.
It's a canter, how that's happening. There's no luck to it. I mean, you do get a bit of luck, obviously, but don't rely on it.
That's a good bit of advice.
Yeah.
And then finally, our last question before we finish, David, and this is for those at home who maybe potentially would like to pursue a career, in any equestrian sport, whether it be jumping or eventing, whatever it is. What advice would you give to someone at home who is thinking about kind of setting out and pursuing a career in the sport?
Whoops. It's a long road. It'll be dedicated. Lady luck will play a very big part in it to get to the very top in our sport, because it's not only you. You've got to have the animal. And you can be very lucky, like I was. We had animals at the start, but my family were in the business of horses, even at a very low level. To do it nowadays, the very top end of our sport is nearly the playground of not millionaires, billionaires. So horses are costing phenomenal prices. You with me? So in our sport, you need the talent, but you need the gift of it, but you need the luck of being in that environment to come up with it. It's very difficult to go in at 25-year-old, I want to be a show jumper, boy, are you against it.
At 30, do you reckon I'm too late?
Yeah, far too late.
I want to see you ride first before I make a comment, but
I think you can say probably too late for me.
Yeah.
no, but it's so many things have to go. There's so many wonderful riders who will never make it. I mean, my biggest thing that ever happened to me was running into Lord Harris.
So put yourself out there and you might, with some
and
dedication.
it's all, but my life changed then, really. All right, I'd had Sunsolve, I'd had Mr Softee, but to get the next generation of them again and go on,
But
it was pure luck, not luck, whatever.
But what I would just say, because what we don't want is any youngsters listening thinking it's completely impossible, unless you've got millions, billions behind you. But what I always say to younger riders is you've got to learn your trade. If you can learn how to produce horses from youngsters, because how else, you can't buy horses at the top level unless you have got those millions. So if you learn to produce them, and I always say that especially nowadays there's someone watching all the time, whether it be a phone or there is someone watching, but that can be a very good thing too. So if you can create that really good image that you're doing everything correctly, and if I see someone doing a really good job on a young horse, it's noted, and that can be your opportunity, Ian, as you say, with that Lord Harris might be watching, or there might be someone out there with money thinking, I would like to help a youngster coming through. So you've got to always be creating that good impression.
There's nearly I think there is two levels in our sport. There's the top end, which is the ultimate, and then there's the end of the people who enjoy the sport, and they can make a living at it. But actually another level below the happy ones, jumping this high, and we have a lot of that at home as well, and these people are enjoying it. Sometimes they're not very good, sometimes there's a disaster coming. Be magical, you know what I mean, and you'll live on that for ages. The way he did that.
As you say, you got a big kick from winning musical chairs.
Yeah.
It all started at musical chairs.
Yeah.
Musical chairs to Olympics.
Oh dear.
Amazing. Thank you so much, David. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very much.
Very special episode.
Thank you.
What an episode.
Yeah, what an amazing man. Lifetime of amazing achievements. We have really been blessed with our guests on this podcast.
I found that seriously interesting how, from his perspective, how he feels about the change over the years in the sport.
No, you're absolutely right. I think it was a very insightful snapshot into kind of how the world's changing, and the direction it's going. So again, thank you to David. That was a really, really exciting episode.
Yeah. So if you've enjoyed this episode, tell all your friends, subscribe, let us know who you think would be great guests in the future, and also do ask any questions, because Tristan's getting so knowledgeable, he will be able to answer them for you, I'm sure.
With a little help from my cue cards. And please do leave us a review, because it does help us canter up the charts, and we want to keep pushing, because we're doing really well actually in the charts.
Hopefully.
Keeps being fun and exciting. It's all thanks to you guys. And if you've got a tale for us, some stories, anecdotes, questions, as Pippa mentioned, leave us a question or email us on info@talk-horse.com.
And please join us next time. We've got so much horse talk to talk to you about.
Talk horse talk?
Well, because here it says horse talk. We've got much more horse talk. And then I thought, horse talk.
We've got so much horse talk.
Bye.
Bye.